Good morning. I don't have papers to grade this weekend, so I thought it would be a great time to vlog my day and do another what I eat in a day video. So come on along and see what today brings. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad that you found Living in the Light. My name is Elizabeth and I am documenting my weight loss journey using Optavia's 5-in-1 program. I am almost 6 months in, 5.5 months in. I have lost 66 pounds so far on this program. It works really well and I'm excited to be able to share my journey with people living in the light, not doing this in shadows. Trust me, if you know me, then you know I am on a weight loss journey right now. I'm not hiding any of it. So I'm putting it out there and I just want to share the things that I'm learning. I want to share recipes that work really well for me and just how I go about a day losing on average of 2.5 pounds a week using this program. If you want more information about the Optavia 501 program or any of Optavia's programs, my information, my contact information is in the description box down below, so please reach out to me. Before I jump into my vlog for today, let me invite you to like this video and to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I love to see my tribe growing and it's really exciting to see. Just hit that subscribe button and that way you can see whenever I post new videos. So the first thing I do every morning is I have coffee. I drink my coffee black so I don't worry about having to have a creamer to put anything in it. Some people that are on program do like to use the shakes or they'll use something like nut pods or a sugar-free creamer, which does count as a condiment, and those are limited. So I'm just glad I drink my coffee black. So I usually have 2 to 3 cups of coffee in the morning, spread throughout the morning. I eat my first fueling about an hour or so after I get up in the morning, and this morning's first fueling is a bar. That's typically what I start the morning with so that I'm not having to make a shake or cook a pancake or something right away first thing in the morning. Typically I do something that's not super sweet. The peanut butter bar is one of my favorite morning fuelings. There's an oatmeal, there's a granola one that's really good. This morning I happened to grab the drizzled chocolate fudge crisp bar, so we're gonna start the morning with a little chocolate, which is okay. The great thing about Optavia is that all of the fuelings are formulated to be roughly the same number of calories and the same type of protein, fat, carb combo, so that it doesn't matter what order you eat them in, or you could eat brownies for all 5 of your fuelings if you wanted to do that. I would not advise eating bars for all of your fuelings, but it is possible to do that. So anyway, that's what I'm having first today. I will also have 40 ounces of water. So this is at the ready. 40 ounces of water between fueling number 1 and fueling number 2. That is my goal for each day. The Optavia goal is 64 ounces total for the day. So I do drink twice that. So I go for 40 ounces between my first 2 fuelings and so on throughout the day, just to make sure that I get all my water in. And I think that is one of the keys to my success on this program, is the amount of water that I drink each day. And so I am going to finish my coffee, have my fueling, do something to my hair, and go grocery shopping today. So I'll be back for fueling number 2. Okay, I have gone to the grocery store and welcome Miss Mox. I have put my groceries away, and I actually, if you see my weekly menu plan, I did have for today, this is Sunday, December the 5th. I did put on the menu plan for today that I was going to do cod, the lemon pepper sheet pan cod, but I changed my mind since my husband's working. So I took a chicken breast and I cut it up in chunks and I threw it in some pickle juice. And I'm going to do some air fried chicken nuggets, and I'll show you this later. Kind of Chick-fil-A style, no breading. I'm just gonna throw some seasoning on them. And then I'm gonna do the green beans and mushrooms with balsamic vinegar. They are so good. So that's gonna be my lean green tonight. Got that planned. I have fueling number 2, which is 2 cups about of cold coffee, the vanilla shake, and about a cup of ice that I blended up in the NutriBullet. So I'm going to have this as fueling number 2, and probably watch a Christmas movie or something, and I will see you back here for fueling number 3. Today is just zipping by. I can't believe how quickly it is going. It is already time for fueling number 3. It is a cold day today, so I decided I was going to have one of my favorite fall winter fuelings, and that is the velvety hot chocolate in my favorite Christmas mug that has Merry Grinchmas on the back and the Grinch's face on the front. I use this on Christmas morning every year, but I thought I would get some extra use out of it. So feeling a bit like drinking from the Grinch today, watching some Christmas movies, just kind of having a chill day. And so I'm going to warm it up with this for fueling number 3. I was also going to tell you, I have already had 80 ounces of water. So I've said this before, but if you're new here, I do between fuelings 1 and 2, I drink 40 ounces. Between fuelings 2 and 3, I drink another 40 ounces. So that gets me 2/3 of the way basically through my water by the time I get to my 3rd fueling. And that's just so that I'm not up all night going to the bathroom, because when you drink a gallon of water, you do go to the bathroom a lot. So I've got 80 in. This one, I will drink probably half of it, maybe a little bit more, between 3 and 4. And then I will finish it up between 4 and my lean and green. And then I have another maybe half of this, so maybe up to another 20 ounces, which would be 140. I don't usually drink quite that much, but I do try to get 128 in. Some days I drink more water than others. And let me just give you like a little tip. So I know not everybody wants to drink 128 ounces of water a day. You might just only want to do the 64. Play a little game with yourself. I love to play these little games where I kind of give myself short-term goals throughout the day, much like setting your timers on your phone or using the EatWise app to remind you to eat every 2.5 hours. I take that, whatever I want to drink, and I divide it up kind of between my fuelings. And so if you're going for just the 64, you could do 16 ounces between fuelings 1 and 2, another 16 between 2 and 3, another 16 between 3 and 4. That's going to get you to 48 ounces. And then you have another 16 to do, right? Yeah, another 16 to do between fueling number 4 and the time you go to bed. So you could do 8 ounces between 4 and your lean and green, and then another 8 ounces maybe with your lean and green, or when you take your vitamins at night, or however you want to do it. But plan it, divide it up, and know you have a goal to achieve, and not just, oh, I'm going to drink 64 ounces of water today, and then you get to the end of the day and you realize you haven't had all your water, and then you've got to chug a bunch of water right before you go to bed. Not smart. Get the majority of your water in at the beginning of the day, but do kind of spread it out so that you're hydrating your body throughout the day. So that's my little tip on drinking water. I will see you back here for fueling number 4. Okay, it is time for fueling number 4. And I decided that I would make myself a cup of hot herbal tea. So I have some hibiscus tea that I made here. And then I made a cookie. Now, the video for how to make this is coming up, but I wanted to show you that you can make delicious cookies. I made this with the vanilla shake and the blueberry muffin mix. So keep an eye out for a Fun with Fuelings, which should be coming up in the next couple of days, where you can see how to actually take your fuelings and make them into cookies. So this is my fueling number 4. I will see you back here in a little bit for lean and green. Okay, it is time to start working on my lean and green. So what I'm doing, I told you earlier, I'm going to air fry some chicken nuggets. So I'll show you that in a minute. But my side dish, my greens that I'm going to do is going to be mushrooms and green beans with balsamic vinegar, but I'm going to add that afterwards. Let me tell you the ingredients. So I've got some whole green beans that were frozen. So these are basically already cooked. I thawed the bag out already. Some fresh mushrooms. I'm going to toss those with some garlic and some olive oil. And then when they come out of the oven, I will just season them with a little salt and pepper and a teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. So I'm going to end up having my 3 greens, my 1 healthy fat. I'm having chicken today, so I get a healthy fat. And then I will have about 2 condiments worth of salt, pepper, garlic, and then the balsamic vinegar so that I can have 1 condiment to season my chicken. This is the very reason why I don't put any condiments in any of my fuelings, because I need them when I cook. So the green beans, for 1.5 greens, I'm going to do 1.5 greens of green beans and then 1.5 greens of mushrooms. And so these are basically cooked from frozen. And so for 1.5, I need 3.5 ounces. So I've got my bowl on my scale. I'm zeroing out my scale, and then I'm going to add the beans until I get 3.5 ounces of green beans. Take a few out. Perfect. And then I need 4.13, so 4 and maybe 1/8 ounces of mushrooms. There's 3 and 1/8. There's 4, 4 and 1/8. All right, so there's my mushrooms and my green beans. I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of garlic. That's 1/2 a condiment. A whole teaspoon would just be too much. And then my healthy fat is going to be the teaspoon of olive oil. And I'm just going to toss these all together. And then I have my oven preheating to 425. And I'm going to pop these in the oven at 425 for 15, maybe 20 minutes. I want to make sure that everything is really hot and a little caramelized. And as soon as my oven finishes preheating, I will toss this in, and then I will come back and show you how I'm going to do my chicken nuggets. The next thing that I'm going to do is air fry my chicken nuggets. And again, I took my chicken, I cut it up into 1-inch pieces. I threw it into a Ziploc bag with maybe 1/4 cup of pickle juice from a jar of pickles in my fridge. Just straight up basically vinegar and spices. And it's been sitting there. That's kind of what I understand Chick-fil-A does. And then they season theirs up. I think I'm going to use some salt-free garlic and herbs. So let me grab that. This is one of my favorite no salt seasonings is Kinder's no salt. They've got several different ones. I have the lemon pepper, which I use on the salmon or the cod. This one is garlic and herb. Now there's 2 servings here, so instead of just doing 1/2 teaspoon, I'm going to do a whole teaspoon because it's basically half for me and half for later. So I toss 1/2 teaspoon on, kind of give them a little bit of a toss. I didn't think that through. Now that I've got chicken on one hand, there we go. Now I don't have to touch that with that hand. Toss a little bit more on. And then these are gonna go into the air fryer. I need to turn my air fryer on. I do these at 375. Preheat your air fryer for like 10 minutes. So I'm gonna throw these back in the fridge while I preheat my air fryer. And then you will air fry them for about 10 to 12 minutes. In about 5 minutes, I'm gonna open the thing up and give it a shake and loosen everything up. And then let it finish. So 10 to 12 minutes for these to cook all the way through. These are 1-inch cubes. It may take 12 minutes, but it may only take 10. So you just kind of keep an eye on them and just make sure that they are cooked all the way through. It should be 165 on an instant read thermometer for chicken to be cooked all the way through. So I will come back after these are cooked and after my green beans are cooked and show you what it looks like for our lean ingredient tonight. I've talked before about how important it is to weigh things, and I knew what the cooked weight of these vegetables need to be, and it should be at about 7.5 ounces. And so when I took this out of the oven before and I weighed it, I wasn't even close. So I had to add some more green beans and throw it back in the oven, and hopefully we will be up to about 7 ounces in vegetables. That's why weighing is so important. Use that vegetable conversion chart. Don't rely just on what is written in a recipe, because it's not always going to be accurate. So look at how much more vegetables that is than what I thought it was. So that's a lot of veggies right there. So that is 1.5 servings of cooked green beans, 1.5 servings of cooked mushrooms. And then I'm gonna zero out the scale. And I need 6 ounces of my chicken nuggets. So I'm just gonna add these until I get to 6 ounces. Almost there. I got one more small one, probably will do it. Yeah, 6 1/4, that'll be all right. And I'm glad I cooked that whole chicken breast because there's only 3 nuggets left. I was thinking that it weighed a whole lot more. So this is some air fried chicken nuggets, just seasoned with that garlic and herb, salt-free garlic and herb. I'm going to put the rest of my condiment, which is like 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm not even going to do that much. 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and again, not even close to that. And then I'm going to drizzle on there a teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. And that is my last condiment. And if you haven't tried these green beans, and this works really well even with zucchini, works really well with the zucchini and mushrooms and balsamic vinegar drizzled at the end. It's amazing. So give it a try. And this is going to be my lean ingredient for tonight. And then I will see you back for fueling number 5. We are going to end today's episode right back where we started. It's dark outside again. Christmas tree is on. Moxie's sitting here getting some love. And my final fueling is one more of those cookies that you will see in an upcoming episode of Fun with Fuelings. This one is a chocolate chip cookie and chocolate fudge pudding combo. So you can look forward again to that episode that should be coming up in the next couple of days, so keep an eye out for it. And that is all that I have for you today. Until I see you next time, please live in the light.